We're back. And we have sound. Welcome, welcome. We have to say it again and do it again. You know, these guys behind the scenes get paid. And they always say that I pay them too much. And I always say, no, I don't pay them enough because without them, I am in deep doo-doo. I can't do any of this. They even fix this stuff when it goes wrong. So thank you guys. Thank you guys. You want to come out in front of the camera and say you are? We're always teasing them because they never want to be on camera. So, all right, there's Benjamin. Hey! That's Benjamin. He's running the Q's and A's and the prompts and a couple things, and Brett's back there. You want to come out, Brett? No, he just wants to say hello. Okay. And then we're missing our one person tonight. We're doing it with 2, not 3. But anyway, they are a terrific team, and thank you guys for getting it fixed. Okay, so what I was saying when you couldn't hear is I have this problem because I love sewing, and I really like, I just get so many ideas, and I go shopping, and there's just so much out there, and then I just do too much. So I hope you find something you like. I've done a lot, and I hope you find something you like that'll inspire you for the holidays. I do know that new clothes are just really fun. And so I went through tonight and I thought maybe we could talk about how much it cost if we bought it and how much it cost if we made it. Although I don't think we really need to do that because you know what I shop. I shop Neiman's. I shop really high end. But I get a lot of good ideas. Okay, so enough talk. Sorry about that. Let's get started. Okay, so the very first thing I did is I had seen this in the store. I saw it several places. Was this pink jacket. So pink, not just pink, pink velvet. I just absolutely love this pink velvet jacket. So I had found the pictures. I had found it in Neiman's, if you'll put up picture number 1. And I just was drooling over it. I just really liked it. Now that lighter pink, I didn't really care for it. It was too light for me. But this darker pink, I'm in love with. So then show the next picture. And I was looking to do pink and incorporate a little bit because I did not want to do pink on pink. I didn't want to do pink velvet pants and pink top. I didn't want that. But this is Christian Dior, and I fell in love with it. I love that little splash of black. My splash of black is leather. You could do any fabric that you wanted to. But in this case, I did not do the lapel. I love that pink lapel like it was. I just did the black collar. I just did the black buttons. Now, if you wear this open, what I did is I did the leather buttons, but I did them with snaps. I really like that look. So you put the black button on the side where the buttonhole would be, and then you put the snap under it. You know what, maybe, yeah, let's zoom in a little bit on that. We're going to try to zoom in again. We lose focus when we do, but just hang with us until we get there. And so the shallow part of the snap is behind the button. You have to sew the button on first, and then you do the snap, and then you do this. So when it's worn open, it's just a really nice look. I just love it. I've seen it a lot with sweaters. I've seen it all kinds of stuff. And we have those big snaps. We've got them in black. We've got them in silver. We've got them in a gold color. They're just beautiful. But anyway, just a touch of black. In this particular case, I did the collar in leather, and then I did the buttons to match. So I just really like the look. For me, that Christian Dior jacket is probably $5,000 to $6,000. You know, 2 yards of pink velvet is not real expensive. That's pattern number 1900. I did it just as it is. The only thing I did was shorten it. Okay. All right. So then we got shopping a little bit, and we found this blouse. And I just love this blouse. We'll come back to it for a minute. A sweater. I should say sweater. It's really a sweater. I called it the bow sweater. But let's go to the next one because I want you to see the price tag because I'm always, wanting you to see how much this stuff cost. Yep, that's actually real. It's not faked. It's $500 for that little sweater. So I thought, okay, we can do this. Let's go back to the blouse, or the sweater, sorry, if you don't mind. And so what I did was this one right here. And I just absolutely love this. It's so cute on. It's just really adorable. I used pattern number 195, obviously, as the base. The fabric is 2872. I didn't tell you the pink fabric, sorry. The pink velvet is 2733. The leather is 2842. Sorry about that. Okay, so this is 2872. This is a new fabric that we put up. It's an incredible, it's just got a little sparkle all through it. It's just so pretty. I just love it. So with the bow is just a square. I'm sorry, it's a rectangle. So you're going to measure across the width of your shoulders, and then all I did was make it, I don't think I wrote down how low I made it. I wrote it on my phone when I actually measured it. But I went down 15 inches. You want to make sure you go below your bust point because you don't, the way this is just perfect. I tried that on and it has the same look. Then in the middle, you have a little kind of the carriage deal. And that's, you want to make it 2 inches wide and then sew it, just make a loop and you just loop it around and gather it up. And what I did is I just hemmed the neck edge, I just serged the neck edge, all the layers, tucked it under, and I top stitched. I actually tried to do a fold over trim on it and there's too much fabric. The fold over trim is just not wide enough. I didn't like it. So I took it off, I just serged the edge, tucked it under and top stitched just the top of this portion. And then once I got it gathered up the way I wanted to, I just did another stitch underneath. I just literally put that in the sewing machine and gathered it up. So it's called the bow blouse or the bow sweater, I guess. But the rest of it is a sweater set. I didn't make any changes to it. I did it exactly as it is. And I just love it. It's adorable. It's so cute on. And then I want to talk a little bit about the skirt. The skirt is, I guess I could move my stuff out of the way. I just used the yoga skirt. The Yoga 2010 is the pattern that I used. But I want to show you, let's go on to a couple pictures. Not the next one, but the next one. Oh, I just wanted to show you this because sequins are really popular for holidays. They always are. This particular sequin fabric that I got, I love the checks on it. And the sequins are very thin. Sometimes when I have sewn sequins, like my serger will have a problem or my sewing machine, I'll break a needle. I didn't, none of that. This particular sequin is very easy to sew on and they're thin and light. So I wanted you to see if you wanted to do a top, you could just do a simple little top for the holidays. It's just really beautiful. I don't have any, this is the only sequin fabric I have, but you can find it. You just want to make sure that it's a knit and not a woven, obviously, to do. But most of them are on a backing that's like a poly netting backing. But they're really easy to sew with and they're really fun. I ironed them, I did everything. They're not going to melt, they're not going to do anything like that. They're very fun to work with. Okay, the next one. Alright, this is the one I wanted you to see. And because it's farther away from me, who's that designer, Britt? Oh, there we go.
Hobbs check.
No, that's not
Ted
the...
Baker,
Who is it?
Ted Baker.
Oh, Ted Baker, that's right. And what was the price on it? Can you see? $230. These little skirts are not inexpensive. Now, the reason I don't like it, how this is because it shows you like how many checks, how big you are. So if you need 2 checks, you're little. If you need 3 checks, you're bigger. And so I like the idea, and I'd seen it done somewhere else where they were turned onto a bias. So this is a stretch. When you turn it onto the bias, you'll still get a little bit of stretch. I used the yoga skirt pattern, 2010. I shortened it 8 inches. I just love this together. It's just so cute. I shortened it 8 inches. You can do whatever length you decide you wanted to do. There's only one front. I put the center front on the fold, the center back on the fold. And then I actually did do an invisible zipper at the side, on the left side. I just decided I didn't really want to rely on the stretch. I wanted to have it be a little more secure, and so I went ahead and put a little invisible zipper on the side. With the sequins, I noticed the invisible zipper was a little hard to get up and down once I put it in, but I noticed as I zipped it up and down 2 or 3 times, it was no problem. The sequins had just kind of learned where to go. They didn't break, they didn't do anything like that. They had just kind of learned to stay out of the way. So it's very easy to do. And I just love, I mean, it was really easy sewing. This skirt, it did not take me an hour. It's just because there's only serge the bottom, top stitch, serge the top, top stitched. I just tucked it under and did an invisible zipper. Very, very easy. A lot of fun. And that skirt sequin is $28.70. Okay, $28.70. All right, so let's answer a few questions. French cuff, oh, wait, sorry. What is the placement of the buttonhole on the French cuffs on Craig's blouse? Well, whenever it's a French cuff, you're putting the buttonhole through both layers. You know, there's 2 layers. You don't have to. I guess it's an option. But you should size it to your wrist. As far as where to place them, you should size it to your wrist, how tight you want that cuff to be, and then put the 2 buttonholes where you want them. There's no formula for where they are. It's just whatever you want that blouse, whatever you want on the blouse. Are there special steps for tailoring velvet? You guys, I have really been amazed. I think that no is the answer, the short answer. The long answer is velvet from years ago was, I think it was a cotton velvet. And today, where most of them are poly velvets, they're so easy. They're so much fun to work with. I mean, this velvet, I steamed it. I did everything to it. I messed it up. I just did all kinds of stuff to it. They're very easy to work with. Just keep the nap going all the same direction, or not purposely if you want to switch it up. But I just had more fun working with it. I had gone to a conference last week, and this was really my tipping point. One of the ladies there was wearing a pink velvet jacket, and I just just wanted to keep touching it. It was just, her jacket was so good looking. It was so nice. And the other thing I thought is it's so fresh and current, because pink velvet jackets are really stylish right now. They're in the stores. If you check around, I don't think you can go to a store without finding a pink velvet jacket. It's at different price points, but there's a lot of them out there. Okay. Could you sew, sorry. Taking a jacket pattern and turn it into a trench coat. What fabric and interfacing would you use? Well, I don't use interfacing. Well, I don't use interfacing on a trench coat. I would use the well, that's not true. I don't know. That question makes me have to think. I can't think right now. Just email me separately, since that's really a question that's very specific to you as opposed to everything that we're talking about, if that's okay. The edges raw on the bow. Yes, I left the edges raw here. This was a knit. It just didn't need any finishing. I really just liked them left. You could finish them. I just decided not to. Is the bow sweater plain in the back at the neckline, or did you add the rectangle? No, I didn't add the rectangle to the back. I did the way they did in the store. The back is solid. It's just got a bow on the front. That's all. Could you sew the bow on the wrong side and flip it over? You can do it however you want. However you want to do it, except just be aware it goes beyond the shoulder. The bow goes beyond the shoulder. So when I said you cut it the width you want, you don't want it to end right at the shoulder. You want it to extend a little bit beyond, because that's what gives it this beautiful drape. If it stops right there, it's not going to drape as nicely. So I can't really give you dimensions because every size changes in the width, but you want it to extend at least like 2 inches beyond your shoulder seam, so it kind of gently flows over the shoulder edge. Okay? So that's your width. And then the length I measured was, I think it was 15 or 16. And then it's just a rectangle. Okay? And then you can't really sew it into everything because it goes beyond the neckline. So I just tacked it right here, and I tacked it right there. Thanks for asking these questions, you guys. Sometimes when I've done it, especially if it's been a week or so ago, I can't remember all those details. So I appreciate you guys asking those details. The goal is for you to be able to do this. And if you can't remember the details, then, you know, I want to save you the work. I did the work. I figured it all out. The goal is to save you the time in doing that. But this was very, very easy to do. Okay, how did you do the waistband on the skirt? I literally just serged the edge and tucked it under and top stitched. And I did the same to the hem. I did a 3/8 inch seam allowance at the waist and a 1 inch at the bottom. Now, you know, when you talk about proportions, and again, for me, the way I wear this skirt is I'm going to wear it with tights. So it's not really a short skirt. It's a short skirt, but I'm certainly not going to show leg. I'm just going to wear it with tights and a little pair of boots. So it's just going to be cute. It's young, it's fresh, and I really like it. Okay, how do you hem fabrics so they look smooth? Tried hemming a poly skirt and hem looked awful. Well, I don't know. when you hemmed it, I mean, we're going to have a sew along next week. You can watch. I'll hem the top when we finish. I think some people are too aggressive when they sew. They pull without knowing that they pull, so be sure that you're not pulling. Your stitch length on a knit should be longer. It should be 3.5. I know I say that and every machine's a little bit different, so that makes me nervous about saying it, but you want a longer stitch. If they're too small, they'll stretch the fabric because the needle is hitting into the, into the fabric just too often. So lengthen your stitch length, and that, I think that works really well. Where did you put the zipper? In the side seam? Yes. Zippers always go in the left side seam. Always, always, always. That's ready to wear. Always in the left side seam. Okay? And then you had to cut the waistband to accommodate the zipper? No. Well, I cut the bottom of the zipper off. You have to cut the zipper too. Our zippers are only $1, but they're like 22 inches long. So no, I use the top just like it is, and I line the very top up to the top of the, there's a little extra there. And so I don't know if we can get a picture this close, but the zipper goes just right up to the top because the zipper has a little extra tab at the top, and I line that up to the edge of the fabric, and then when you go to tuck it under, you just tuck that portion under so the zipper comes right up to the top of the skirt. And so it doesn't, you could, sometimes they put a hook and eye on. I have found I just don't need it, and it's harder to do the hook and eye on the side of you than it is to just leave it. I've just not ever needed it before. Easy enough? Okay. Is the bow attached at the armhole or only at the shoulder? It's only attached at the shoulder. It's a little beyond the armhole, and I just tacked it. It's secured into the neck edge, and then I just secured it one place at the shoulder seam so that it wouldn't flop like that, so that it would hold it out. You want to have a knit that's got a little bit of body, which is why this fabric was perfect. I mean, it really is. It can't be too thick because it won't gather well for the bow. I kind of played with several fabrics, and I just loved this fabric, and I just loved the little sparklies on it. It was just, to me, perfect. Perfect pattern fabric combination. Do you use a cover stitch machine in any finishing? I don't. I just use my 4 thread. How much fabric for the bow blouse? You'll need 2 yards. Just whatever you need for your sweater set, like usually the front and the back go on one length, and then the bow itself and the sleeve will be the second length. Could you please place a white piece of paper under the bow so we can see the shoulder extension? Yeah, that's a good idea. There you go. That's the bow. I don't think if I have a big, here. Why can't I pull that down? Give me 1 minute. Here. I know it's black. And you guys, I know it's black, but sometimes these fabrics are too good to not do them in another color. And I liked that one I saw in the store. Obviously, when I saw it, I thought that is just the cutest idea ever. But I didn't like that it was a bow and pink. I just thought it was too sweet looking. So I really like this bow in black. I think it's, I don't know, I think it's more sophisticated in the black rather than like the pink. But that's what shows down. If you get closer, can they see in better, or have you already done that? I can put my hand under here so they can kind of see the bow. There they go. That's better. Okay, there you go. And so you can see it hangs over a little bit, and then to there. Isn't that pretty? So pretty. Is 1 yard enough for cutting skirt on bias? No, not if you want a front and a back. If you just want a front, you could do the back in a knit. You don't have to do the front and the back, both of the sequin. But if you want the front and the back, the bias will take up a yard. You'll need 2 yards. The bias will take up a yard in the front, and the bias will take up and then what I did to match on the sides is I laid the first pattern out. You can see they're going together here. They're not the same angle. You can't do that, but you can get the stripes to come together, and then you just take the front and lay it out for the back. That's the easiest way to do it. Okay, are we good on that? Oh, sorry. Is the rectangle not attached to the neck edge at center? No. There's a carrier. There's like a little carrier right here. So the top of the carrier is attached in the neck edge. The bottom of the carrier goes under the bow, and then I've stitched it right here to the carrier. So it is attached to the neck edge. I just didn't do both at the same time because it gave me some flexibility as to how long I wanted to make the little carrier deal and how gathered I wanted the bow to be. It's cute, isn't it? I'm glad you guys like it. What fabric? The bow is 2872. 2872. Pattern number is 195, and I used 2 yards. Okay? Okay, approximately how much more fabric should we allow to put the skirt on the bias? You just need 2 yards, one for the front and one for the back. But because it's on the bias, it will, you know, it takes up a yard. It'll take up the whole yard. You can't, it'll take 2 yards. I don't think it matters what size because you'll have enough width. It's the angle that takes up the yard. So regardless of the size you're making, you'll be fine to do the 2 yards. Okay. Are we good there? Okay, so we are on to number 4. Oh my goodness, I love this top, you guys. I want to show you this. I was in Neiman's and there's a line called the Row. And Benjamin, I'm out of sequence on photos, I'm sorry. Would it be... No, not that one. The one before it? The one after it? That one. Perfect. Okay, that is that the Row? Is that the right one? What's that price on that? $790. $790. Okay. So the Row is a beautiful line. If you're ever in a store, a Neiman's or Saks, you know, high end, that carries the Row. The Row is Mary Kate and Ashley Olsen, the Olsen twins. And you know, when they first started a line, it was okay. It's just gotten better and better and better to where they have just some beautiful classic lines. Some of their things are just a little different. You know, those girls, anyway, it doesn't matter. The Row. And so I'm always, especially when the holiday season comes in, they have just got some beautiful, beautiful pieces. All of their fabrics are high end. So certainly that's a cashmere. I'm not, actually that's not a cashmere. Does that say what that was? That's why it's lower. It's only $790 because it was not a cashmere. It was what?
Jersey net.
Yeah, it's a jersey net. So that means a poly basically. But what it is it's, I mean, it just hangs beautiful. And I know it's black and I couldn't get any other photo. And then I turn around and I do it in a black as well. And you guys can't see a thing, but I've drawn it for you. So this is the funnel neck. Now, I saw this and I knew I wanted to do this. So a week or so ago, I did the funnel neck. I did the drafting of it on a little Let's Sew. So you could see how to do it. Because this funnel neck, it's so stylish right now. It's really hit hard. I don't know why. Things go in cycles. But this is just a really beautiful neckline. So the definition of a funnel neck, and I even Googled it, and the definition's wrong. A funnel neck is not like a turtleneck. A turtleneck is when it's a collar. It's a separate piece. A funnel neck is all in one. It's all done as one. And you get a much different look. I think it's prettier and I think it's softer, but it's just a different look, the funnel neck, than a turtleneck. And I think a funnel neck is much softer. So I did this funnel neck in a black lace. And oh my goodness, I just love this. This is so beautiful on. I really struggled to what to wear tonight, but you'll see why I'm wearing what I'm wearing. But anyway, this is black lace. The black lace is $27.19. $27.19 is the fabric number. And now what I did is I actually made a cowl to go underneath it, or just you can wear any black top. I made a cowl because I wanted a cowl. And to me, holidays scream cowl neck. It's a great pattern. It's pattern number 550. But you can see that you can put under this as much or as little as you want. And it really is stunning. All I did was lengthen it. And I'm going to show you the next picture so that you can see how to draft it. 195 is your base. Oh, I just wanted you to see how black lace is just everywhere. Stretch black lace is really, really popular, and it's a beautiful look. Yeah, I think I have pictures out of order. Sorry, Benjamin. That one right there. So let me show you this one and what I did to it. On both the front and the back are exactly the same. you are going to go an inch out from the neckline. You can't start at the neckline. If you do, it's not enough width to get over your head. So you want to come out an inch on each side. So where the red line starts, it's an inch wider than the neckline on your sweater set. And then just go up 8 inches. That angle of that line is you're going to be at the top of the 8 inches. You're going to be an inch narrower than you are at the bottom. So that's actually going to be a ½ inch. I'm sorry. It's going to be 2 inches total. So it's a ½ inch in the front, a ½ inch in the back, twice. That's going to give you 2 inches. So you can see I just slightly angled that line. Now, just know, though, that when you go to pull it up, if you don't like it, the width it is, you can always just change the angle on this neck edge. Now, when we were doing the really short funnel, which has to be more precise than what this does, this, because it's higher, because it's in softer fabrics, I don't have to have the precision that I had to on that little short one. That little short one had to be just exact. And part of the reason, you know, I said to you, use the 5/8 inch seam allowance, because what we know about 5/8 inch seam allowances is they bind. They bind up our seam from relaxing. So it's perfect to use a 5/8 because what it does is it binds up the shoulder seam and causes that neckline to stand out, which is exactly what we want with that short funnel. In this case, it doesn't matter and we don't need it. So I just serged the whole thing together. I left the top of it raw because it hangs down and it's got this beautiful, it's almost like a little cowl below it. It's just really pretty. Just have fun. You could do this in so many different fabrics, but for the holidays, it's such a beautiful neckline. I mean, for all year round, but it's, to me, a turtleneck is, I'm going to say, a little masculine. This is so feminine in comparison. I just love the contrast, and it's certainly not the same. It gives a different effect, and it's lovely. So I hope you enjoy it, and I hope you like it. What was the pattern you used for the bow top? That's $195, the sweater set, and I used $195 for this as well. And the goal was here, and I used $195 a couple more times because I wanted you to really see all the different necklines that we could put onto $195 that just are so adaptable and so easy. You certainly just don't need a pattern. All you got to do is go up 8 inches, and I know people argue with me with this, but because it does take your time, and I know your time is valuable, but I think this is simple enough that you'll really love it. When you shorten a sleeve, do you adjust the lining length? You should do both. We've got the lining built into the length, so when you do one adjustment, it automatically shortens the lining, it automatically shortens the sleeve. It does it at the same time. So you don't literally have to do them separately, just do it at one time. Okay? Why don't you curve the neck into the shoulder? What is it, a sharp corner? Why don't you curve the neck into the shoulder? It doesn't need to be done. The fabric is soft. I'm going to assume by that question that you think that an angle of fabric stays an angle on the body, and it does not, and it doesn't need to be curved because, as you can see, it falls softly. So those are just maybe learning curves between pattern making and actually getting to the garment. You don't need to do any of that. Okay? Okay. Did you line the pink velvet blazer? Can we see the lining? I did not line the pink velvet blazer. Let me move this out of the way. So you can't see the lining. But I just did a self-facing, and I secured the facing into the princess seam. So it's an unlined blazer. It's all finished. It's all serged and opened. I did that in black to contrast. It's not lined. That was my choice. The pattern itself has lining in it. Only the lace is done as a cowl, right? The black is a regular... No, the lace is not a cowl. The lace is the funnel neck. The lace is a funnel neck. I just put it over a cowl. What's underneath is a cowl. I used that brand new black rayon. It's the last... I don't know the fabric number, but it's the last one we just got in. And I did a base of the cowl. The cowl lays so flat as a cowl, and with the black rayon, I kind of felt like I had two tops as one. It could be the base underneath the lace, and it could be separate and be a top if I wanted it to be a top. So it's just an overblast with the cowl pattern. Perfect. It is. It's $195 with the $550 underneath. On the black one, is there two tops? Yes, this was two tops. I'm assuming that's what you mean by the black one. Okay, are we good? All right. The next photo, because I'm lost. Help me out here. That's the lace. I just wanted you to see lace in general with tops underneath. That's a great holiday look. And you notice she's got a red pant on, very holiday looking. I think it's pretty. But you also can decide how much coverage you want, because you can make the top underneath longer sleeve. You can do whatever you want with it. All right, the next one. Okay, so this is I was at Neiman's, obviously. I picked up quite a few of these at Neiman's. I was just having a field day. It was so much fun. Brunello Cucinelli is, gosh, I love watching his stuff. It's just a lot of fun. And it's just really daring. So you know this is 118. This is pattern 118. I've done it. I just had done it a little while, and I saw this blouse. I actually saw this before I did it, and I did the twist on Let's Sew, and then I wanted you to see this, because this, the price point on this, I think, is it's $1,200. Yeah, $1,200. And I actually, because I was at the store and felt the fabric, I actually picked a fabric that I felt like was pretty similar to it, which is why I went with this right here. This is a new fabric. I came home to my stash and said, okay, what do I have that's very similar to what he did it out of? And I chose this. This is 2882. I just put it up. 2882 is the fabric. The pattern is number 118. This is, I just love this. I just love this. If you're okay with wearing things off the shoulder a little bit, all this is a band. And you can do that. Now, mine is not as low off the shoulder as what that photo is, but you can make it low whatever you want, and you can make the band is literally just a loop. And it goes around as long as you can get, it stretches to go over your head, and as long as you can get it over your head, you just attach it into the seam where the collar attaches to the blouse. There's a seam in there, and you can either leave it open and just loop this thing through, or I attached mine. Just depends on, you can do it one of two ways. Very simple to do. I just wanted you to see the idea. I just really, we're pretty current on these patterns. It's kind of exciting to see them over and over again and be done in very similar ways, but very different ways for holiday. So, how tall did you make the funnel neck? That was 8 inches tall. On this particular one, it was 8 inches. Again, that's all styling. I measured the funnel neck of the row. It was the row that I was copying, and I just picked it up, measured it, and I knew what I was going to do. And I measured the width across the top also. Those kind of two things. Okay? All right. Let's keep going. All right, this is a top that I stole. I borrowed from Miss Brenda. She had a couple ideas. I was actually done at this point, and then I was in a workshop on Friday and Saturday, and I had so much fun. I got so inspired. I came home and just kept sewing. I was just dying to sew. It was just amazing how much I really like to sew. So I did this top, and I want to show you how to do this. Now, whenever I see a little pattern like this, I look at the differences, and the differences are specific. So I want to talk about those differences for a minute. This is, the fabric on this is 2868. Okay, 2868. The pattern on this is 195. So the reason is, if you look at this top when it's on, all of this underneath here is covered. If you took a top, like say Anne's top is a lower neck. So it's a different look than what this is. And I like it, and I wanted to show it to you so you could decide the details and what differences you liked the best. So this is a collar, and I'm going to hold it up so that you can see that the top, it's wider at the top than it is at the neck edge. Then I'm just going to give you the numbers, and you can draw it. It'll take you about 5 minutes to draw it. And it'll take you another, you know how fast it is to make the sweater set. This is just fun, easy, and fast, and it's beautiful. This fabric is just incredible. Okay. So let's talk about the numbers here, and I drew them out because this is the sweater set. You're going to measure the front and the back. You're going to measure your neck edge, not the cut line, the stitching line. So mine was 10. I drew a straight line. I made it 10. Then the outside line, the very top of that, is 18. And then the width of the collar is 11. It's just that easy. Draw, draw, lines to connect. All right, and that will give you half, and you can either cut it on a fold or you can cut two. I cut two is what I did. So I have a seam on each of the sides. I serged it together, I hemmed it, and then you sew the wrong side, the right side of the collar to the wrong side of the blouse, and you flip it out. I just serged it all along. You flip it out and all the edges finished. Let's try to get close on this, as close as what we can. And it's just beautiful. The top on, it's so pretty. It's just really, really beautiful. This fabric just has great drape to it, and it's just really pretty. So you can see that this, you know, you can take it over the shoulders. It's wide enough if you wanted to. You know, you can play with this neck edge to do different things. But you notice that the underneath part is the sweater set, so it comes all the way up rather than being lowered and showing off more. But I just like it like this. So a little bit, you guys, sweatshirts are really popular right now. Like fancy sweatshirts. So the one that I first looked at, Brenda's top, it was a sweatshirt. I wanted to dress it up a little bit, so I used this. Just before, late today, I put up like 6 new fabrics, all sweatshirt fabrics, $9.99. I bought the whole group. I don't know if they were Rag & Bone, Ellie Tahari, I cannot remember who they belong to, but they're all beautiful. They're like 100% cottons for $9.99. So when I looked at some of these prices, I mean, sewing saves so much money. I don't care how much you spend. It still saves a whole lot of money. Is the neck doubled? No. It's just one layer. It folds over, and you can just kind of arrange it how you want or leave it. So that one's a thank you to Brenda, and it's just really, really pretty. I love it. Love that neckline. Just lovely. Okay. Then we're going to go to, what are my other pictures? Oh, is that the last one? What's the last one? Okay, you can show that one. So the best thing about holiday dressing is everybody should make themselves a pair of pajamas. So that's what I have on, my pajamas. I even made myself a shirt to go with my pajamas. I even made myself a little jacket. So if I had to run out, I could wear my jacket. It actually looks like I have a little outfit. That's how desperate I am to not have to get changed out of my pajamas. So we're relaxed too. I'm in my pajamas. I love these. I use Jags because this fabric is 2833. And I use pattern 3414 because Jags woven yoga pants. I wanted a pair of plaid pajamas, and they're really easy to match. You just put the hem at the bottom and cut them all up. Depending on your size, you'll either need 1 yard or 2 yards, but just fun and easy to do, and they take no time at all. And those pajamas, those things are like $40 for a pair of, I think they're more than that. They're very expensive for just a simple pair of pajamas, and you can just, a great gift for yourself, for anyone else. All right, so then I want to talk about my top for a little bit. So what I did with my top, this is also a Brenda, you guys. This was another idea I stole from her. So you have to thank Brenda. This little jacket that I've got on. So she had on this sweatshirt, and we liked it. Everybody in the class liked it, and we examined it, figured out what it was. And what it is we're going to combine a bunch of stuff together. We're going to do, I'm going to turn around so you can see. It's a 900 in the back. So it's a jean jacket. It's got the yoke and it's got the fitted pieces. And then it's a 709 in the front. That was our pattern of the month, so you've already got it. The shoulder will match. And if it doesn't, just make it match. It won't matter because you're not going to use the collar. You're going to just serge the edge, turn over, and finish. The jean jacket, because you're not going to use the band, you're just going to use the back, and the back pieces, the 2 back pieces, will be shorter. So because 709 is longer at the side, you're just going to extend the jean jacket. Mine was about 3 inches difference. I just made the jean jacket pieces in the back 3 inches longer. So I'm using 709, the 2 pieces, the princess seam for the front, and then you just let it hang. I'm using the jean jacket for the back, and then I'm using my knit armhole and my knit sleeve. So easy enough. You just draw out your knit armhole and use your 195 sleeve, and you've got a fun little jacket. And what we were commenting in the class is it's a little more fitted. That jean jacket has a little more fit, and it just gives it a different feel. And there's all kinds of really fun, beautiful sweatshirt fabrics that you can make this out of. This one that I used is 2883. 100% cotton. They're just lovely. 100% cotton. So 709 front, 900 back, 195 for the sleeve. Isn't this fun? This is really Mr. Potato Head here. You can go shopping, you can pick this, pick that, and make your own little potato head face. Okay, so then also what I want to talk about in closing, let's answer questions. Did you add flare to the bottom of the 195 big collar top? Flare to the bottom? Well, I have that drawing up, you guys, so you can see exactly what I did. If you just go back to that, it has everything you need on there. What's the difference between Jags and the base of Lori's? Well, Lori's is a bigger leg. Lori's is a gathered pant. Jags is not a gathered pant. So the leg is slimmer on Jags than it is on Lori's. Jags is just enough to get it over your rear end. It has a pocket, has a back pocket, has a faux fly. Lori's doesn't have any of that. Okay, so I want you to remember that at holiday time especially, there's so many little wraps you can do that are really fun, quick little patterns. I wanted to bring you fresh and different, so I didn't go back to those patterns, but I want to take a minute and remind you. If you go back to May 7th, 2018, so that's a year and a half ago. If you remember, Laura was over here, and she did a little wrap, and it was circular. We cut 2 slits in it. I just need to remind you all of what a great wrap that is. It is an hour project if you really focus on hard and cut slow, and it's just gorgeous. The way it hangs over, it's like a shawl. It's just really beautiful. So that's a great instance as a wrap. The reason I bring that up is if you're wearing something like a sequin skirt and you want a little bit more coverage up top, those wraps are terrific. I wanted to show you also 83 Colette's one-piece wrap. That original was an Ellie Tahari. It has one seam across the back and one seam down, and it's just absolutely stunning. Even in sweatshirt fabric, whatever it is, it's a home run. I wanted to remind you of the cape, the Fifth Avenue cape, pattern number 98. This, if you do this like in a, I don't know, a gray sweatshirt or, whatever, it just goes with everything. You can just throw it on all the time. It feels great. It's great for a little holiday party just to have a little wrap. Velvet, you could just do it in so many different fabrics. Don't forget velvet and black stretch lace. Both of those are great holiday trends. And then the other one I wanted to remind you of was pattern number 95. It's Brooks top. It can be made lots of different ways. This play, I had a zipper in the top here just to give it a little bit of zip. There's crystals. There's all kinds of fun things that you can do with it. But those patterns are great home runs and they're great takeaways. I wanted to tell you a little bit about, for me, this is a great time of year because I have more time at this time of year than any other time of year, and I know that many of you do not, but it's a great time to organize. So your foam hanger covers and your pattern hooks are a great way to organize your patterns, your closet, and all that kind of stuff. I was at a PBS conference last week. It was an unbelievable week. It was just so inspiring and so progressive that it was just thrilling for me. So one of my goals as a PBS show, just between me, you, and the Fence Post, is to get the show to be customer supported. I don't like having to take money or advertise for a product that I don't believe in. In fact, you guys know I would not. And that's difficult in this sewing industry to do. And so we've thought of a way that how can we reward you all and ask for your support. And the girls in Kansas City, when I was up there, gave me an idea because they really wanted 2 patterns to be brought back. 145 and 314. Both had been discontinued patterns. So we decided to bring them back and use them as a donation. So for $30, if you donate to Fit to Stitch, and you have to go to Fit to Stitch and you have to push on the donate button for $30, and you can donate more, but for $30, you get the 2 patterns. We'll send those to you. All of that Fit to Stitch fundraising is going on right now. We're getting ready to film another series. Yay! But it was just so exciting to talk to people who had been in my place, who had been beyond, who haven't been in my place, who are way behind me. And it's tough, it's hard, and everyone agreed that financing is difficult. It's difficult to, PBS is strict, they have regulations, and it's difficult to get underwriting. And so I want you to know that when our show was introduced, it was introduced as one of the most popular by viewers, by their viewers. That's you guys. That's you guys calling in and saying, hey, we got to have this show. I know you have, because not one other show was introduced that way. And when I heard that, it was music to my ears. So I feel like we're a team. I need your help. Okay? We are doing amazing things. We will do amazing things. But you guys are the reason. You're the reason I do it, and you're the reason why it needs to be done, if that's fair. We just need good, honest information that works 100% of the time, that you guys can get what you want, which is a product that you sew. So, we appreciate everything. We will continue that until mid-December or third week of December. We've got the 700 series coming out the middle of December. For those of you who have purchased that, we'll send that along with a new pattern. We've got that done. In 2 weeks from tonight, we'll have our sew along. That is a donation for Toys for Tots. I still really believe strongly that we got to make room for those kids. And so 129 is the pattern that we're going to do. And we're going to sit and have a sew along, and we want you to join us. And we want you to get the pattern and sew along with us. Find a striped pattern or non-striped, it doesn't have to be striped, that you really like. And by the end of the sew along, we'll all have a new top that we can wear. All right? So, do we have questions? Let's answer questions and we'll wrap up. I'm using yoga pants size 3400 size 4. The hips and crotch length fit great. I want to make them less wide. Where on the pattern do I start narrowing the legs with my preferred width? Start at the crotch and then just go down. The hem and the knee should be equidistant from the grain line, and then just blend that into the thigh. If the thigh is what you want, you just want to slender the leg, that's the way to do it. Equal distance from the grain line. Is the Jag Pan pattern still available? It is. It's on the site. Did you hem the top you are wearing? Yes. When will the Series 700 be available for purchase? Mid-December. The series will be released January 1, and we are allowed to release it within 2 weeks of the airing date. So our goal is to start shipping them and selling them mid-December. Okay? Yay! And every dime of that Fit to Stitch goes to the show. I don't pay myself. The host's salary is zero. Okay, I have to pay everybody else. I can't get anybody else to work for free, but my salary is zippo, zero. So your donations literally help tremendously. All right. Thanks so much, everybody, for watching. We really appreciate all of you. Happy holidays. It'll be Thanksgiving before we have the sew along. So have a wonderful Thanksgiving. We are going to start our Black Friday this Friday. It's just because everybody else does. So we literally are going to start our Black Friday specials, and they'll run a week rather than just the one day on Black Friday. Okay, so watch for it. All right, later. Bye.